All right. Coming back with a little real talk video for tonight. Real talk. Fellas, as you can see that title up there, she is still testing me to see if I'm still that same man. She is still testing me to see if I am still that same man. And it's amazing how we are so different by day and night. How the way a woman is and how the way a man is. And how difficult it can be to be married, to even be in a relationship. Whether you married or not, you can still listen at this video. And y'all always hear me say, only God can take two imperfect people, put them together, and only God can take them and keep them together. And how we are so different, and how most things that's important to a woman that from a man's point of view, they might not think it's not even all that important. And how women can hold in stuff for so long, and how a man can kind of get over it in a little time. And she is still testing me to see if I'm still that same man. You know, fellas, how many of y'all always sit up and wonder, why did she do that? Why did she say that? Why she still acting like I'm brand new to her? And I'm just talking about some of my past experience in my last relationship and how I could sit up and laugh things off. But at the time, it seemed like a lot of things wasn't funny. But how I can sit back now and just be like, a woman gonna be a woman. Hmm. And fellas, if you think you can figure out a woman, you're gonna waste your whole lifetime. You know why? Because you're not gonna never figure out a woman. A woman can change mood swings just like that. A woman can make you feel like the best man in the world. She can build you up and have your confidence level up there, can make you just think you all that. And then 6 minutes later, she can piss you the hell off. And like I always say, it's a thing when daddy is mad, it's not all that bad. But when mama is mad, the whole house is in trouble. And how a man don't even really want to go in the room to check on the wife, the mother, when things are not going that good. You rather send your child in there, baby, go in there and see what your mama doing. And little baby come back, mama still mad. Daddy wound up leaving. And the reason I want to call this, she is still testing me, because a lot of us don't understand that, man, men, that that's her job. Also, she gonna keep trying to test you just to see. All right, I need to know you still got it. I need to know that you still the same man. You know why? Because a lot of men are falling. They're falling. And I'm using this title because this is what I told my ex. Because one day she just, we had a little fallout behind windshield wiper blades. And let me tell you, let me paraphrase it, because this day it was a storm coming. And the schedules that we had, when I would go to work, I was on my way to work, she would be getting off. Or she was on her way to work, I would be getting off. And I had already went and bought the windshield wiper blades and said, baby, leave your car. It ain't gonna take me but 5 minutes. But most women, I ain't got time for that. I gotta rip and run. I gotta go here and go there. So instead of just letting me put the blades on, she left in a hurry. And looked like an hour later, I get a phone call because it was storming so bad. I'm stranded. I can't go nowhere because I can't see. You could have waited 5 minutes, but now you gotta wait 55 minutes for the storm to go down. People don't think something as simple as windshield wiper blades ain't important until it started raining real hard. And I laughed because she said, can you come get me? Can you come do this? Can you come do that? And I laughed in the phone on purpose. And because she started going off on me when I had already told her I'm going to put them on. But she didn't want to wait. And I said, you just testing me. I say, every day you tested me just to see if I'm still the same. I am still the same man, but yet and still, you got to keep testing me to see. If I'm gonna still do what I say I'm gonna do, I don't know what else do I have to prove. But that's a woman. Don't matter how long you stay with them, don't matter how long you know them, they gonna still try you. Look like every day. Though you would think they know you, I always tell a woman, I know you, but I don't know you. And that's why I can laugh at a lot of things now, because one thing about a woman, they should teach you something, fellas. And I learned so much. Look at my video I did on here about the things that just don't matter to you, fellas, but it matters to a woman. Like I made a statement about the ceiling fan going the wrong direction. I say women, some, not all women, because I know some women that don't care about little stuff, but it's a lot of women that nitpick at every little thing. I mean, and it causes a man to be brushed to the side. But she is still testing you to see if you are still that same man that she fell in love with, that she married, or she could just be because I'm just with you. But I need to I need to test you. Now, if we was to do that to a woman, let me flip it around. I wonder how they would react. But that's the difference between a man and a woman. A man not gonna sit up and do all of that because men brush things off. A woman can hold in something for years. It could have happened 15, 20 years ago, and then your biggest argument is gonna come up. Well, you remember back then, 20 years ago, when you did this to me, why are you still holding on? People say, I forgive, but I don't forget. Well, then you ain't forgave. To me, if you forgive, but you ain't gonna forget, are you really forgiving? Because you still holding on and you got a little grudge. That's just my little thought sometimes, because I heard it all the time. I forgive them, but I ain't gonna forget. Well, I need to forget. Because sometimes if you don't forget about certain things, it's hard to move on. But this is just a little real talk video. I had this in my little heart, because it makes me laugh when I think about a woman and a man, and how if you ain't got God in it, it ain't gonna even work, period. You got a lot of people trying to prove God out of a liar, but God's showing them the upper hand, who's in control. And without God, without a healthy relationship with God, a spiritual relationship, how can you make it? See, that Bible right there are our instructions. The Bible, y'all always hear me say basic instructions before leaving earth. That's my guideline. That's my instructions. And that's the way I gotta live. And that's the way my wife gonna have to live. And that's the way, if we are claiming to be followers of Christ, that's the way we all supposed to be living. And most people spend so much time talking at each other that they don't sit down and talk to each other. You know what the biggest problem is with a lot of relationships? Look at your neighbor and touch your ears. Too many people just don't want to listen. This is a big problem. They don't want to listen. You got too many people that know it all. But if you would just take time to listen, be slow to speak, listen, things will work out so much better. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to have people loud talking to each other and cussing each other out, and they ain't going to never get to the problem, to the solution, I mean. The thing is, let me say this again in this video, you don't focus on the problem. I should have been a love doctor. You focus on the solution. You don't never focus. You know what the problem is. Focus on the solution. So the difference between a man and a woman, and if you think you can figure out a woman, fellas, you're going to waste your whole entire life. It's funny how we are, but at the same time, it's so real how we need each other. And I just want to give a shout out to all the fathers, because I just came from a little program earlier that was so beautiful. It was a fathers and son program, and I want to give a shout out to Philip Towner too from the Dallas Cowboys, because he was there and what he spoke on, it was awesome. He was on point, and it should have been a room full, but it was a nice turnout. But it shows you how many daddies are not around. And that's why I was just thinking about that even in this video, because there's some women out here who wish that they had a husband. And there's some men out here who wish that they had a wife and wish that they was just moving forward in the Lord. But it's a shortage on men and it's a shortage on women. Now, you can get you anything, but when you get anything, expect anything. So with that being said, I ain't going to hold y'all no longer. Peace. She's still testing me, though, to see if I'm still that same man. I don't know why. She should know me by now. Some of us men will catch this later on, or some ain't going to catch it at all. Peace.